So let's start without, actually let's start sitting. Okay, let's start with our roller because that's what I said. Right, so let's have our rollers across the mat and then just lay back like you all are, knees bent, knees soft, and just be kind to your body. And then let's just go the full length of the spine so we can take hold of our head in our hands and just go the whole length of the back, all the way to the bottom ribs, not onto the lower back, all the way up to the top ribs, all the way up to the base of the neck, down to those bottom ribs. And each time, just don't go too fast. And each time try to lower your body so your head's going down, bum's going down, lengthening. And try to keep your breathing rhythmical. Try not to catch your breath, hold your breath. So breathing in, stretch those ribs, breathing out, and then all the way down. Now lean over slightly onto the right hand side. So we keep move the facet joints, and then go back to the middle, stretching over. And now go over slightly onto the left hand side. There we go. Down that side. And now come back to the middle. And then let's go gradually go all the way over on the left, all the way, oh sorry, on the right, I'm going on the right, all the way over onto our right hand, totally onto the right side. We'll go all the way through the armpit, all the way up and down. So just moving those legs to move the body to the bottom rib and then all the way through under the arm. And then hold yourself when it's in the armpit and just roll forward on your chest. You can rest your chin on the ball, on the roller rather. Extend your arm and then roll into the front of that armpit. So I'm taking my arm down, my hand down to the edge of the roller. So it's parallel. So I'm rolling through that pec muscle. So obviously don't go down too low over your actual chest because it's uncomfortable. Just rolling through there. And then pop the arm up straight again. And then go the full length of the side again. I seem to be meandering all over my mat this morning. And then we'll go all the way back onto that right hand shoulder area, right hand ribs. And then I'm going to go all the way down the length of my back. And then over onto the left hand ribs again. Opening. And then all the way over onto that left side. Having my arms straight. All the way up, all the way down. Good. And then stop it when the roller is in your armpit. And then just roll forwards and backwards into the front of that chest. Bring that arm down so it's parallel with the length of the roller. Resting my chin on it, and I can just rock up and down a little bit and work those pec muscles again on this left side. It's pretty hard to get a tennis ball against there, but it's a good thing to give yourself a little bit of a movement there. Right now, move that arm back up the length of the mat, and then rolling back onto the side, do the full length, all the way down, all the way up. All the way down, all the way up. And then go back over onto that back. And then we'll just do one for fun all the way down the middle of the back. So take your arms, all of you can take your arms over your head actually. So we go down with the arms over the head, head's sort of near the ground, bum's near the ground, so you can just play with it. Just reach out. If you're feeling this in your neck, then take hold of your head in your hands. If you're okay with it, if you want to rest your bum on the floor, if you want to rest your hands on the floor, give yourself a bit of support. And then take the roller all the way up to your head. Lift your head up and we'll sit up. And sit up on it. We could stay on that all day. Roll those shoulders back. Lift your body up and sit yourself on the roller. So let's start leaning back, and we're going to just roll the glutes in the roller. So just forwards and back. Again, circles with your bum. Yep. Circles. And then let's go the other way. We'll do the other side, just even it up. It's quite good to just pop both sides, then you get to see, you get to compare. Is one side more tight than the other? If you actually do a more thorough workout on one side and then you kind of forget. Okay. Okay, now let's slide the roll. I'm going to slide it away from the camera. So I get the corner and put my left hand on the roller and my bum is on the corner of it. Right, so this acts a bit more like a tennis ball. So if you don't have a tennis ball and you've just got a roller, you can use the corner. I might have to turn my body a little bit. So I'm turning my legs towards you a bit, getting that edge, that end, right in this right buttock. And I can find a tight bit and then I'll pull that knee up and down. And I might move my pelvis around, so stick my tailbone down to the floor a bit. I can move that roller a little bit. It's not quite as good as a tennis ball, but and then I can take that leg straight and I can bring it back. Take it straight, bring it back. Good. Good, and then moving that roller. And then slide the roller back under you. I kind of stick my fingernails in it to move it around a bit. And then we'll go the length of that leg. So I've got the other leg bent, whole length, all the way down, all the way up. And I can take the other leg off the floor, cross it over this leg if I want. Or I can put both legs on the roller. And go all the way up into the bum, base of the bum, turn my toe in, get the inner thigh, turn the toes out, get the outer side. And then once I feel that I've got the whole of the back of my leg well and truly rolled, I can start to roll over onto the side. So I'll support with my right hand and my left leg. I can put my left hand on the floor as well. Or I can take my left hand off if I want more load on that leg. Come down onto my elbow, really slide it up, and I've brought that leg across. I'm going to start to roll over onto my front, but I'm making sure I go right into my hip at the top here. Maybe I rock forwards and backwards in the outside edge of that hip. That's where your iliotibial band joins, the tension fascia lata. So a fleshy bit of muscle in the side of the hip there. That causes a lot of trouble. And then the other place is the top of the knee on the outside edge. So going the whole way up and down, and then gradually roll over onto your tummy. I find the outside edge of the front is often quite complainy. And then all the way over onto the front. And then all the way over. And then turn those toes outwards so I get in that groin area and that inner thigh. And then I can change legs, put the weight on the left leg, on the inner thigh. Good. And then rolling over onto the front of that leg. Going right up into the hip flexor, right down to the top of the knee. Right into that hip flexor. Right down the top of that knee. And then gradually start to roll over onto my outside edge of this leg. But take it same speed you did the other one. Spend some time in the hip area, in the hip flexor area. So the bony bit, the front of your hip. You feel the attachment points there. And then the full length of the outside of the leg. Keep the roller moving down that outside. All the way down. All the way up. All the way down. Then when on the outside edge, remember you've got the top of the knee part. I can rock. I just sort of do circles with rolling my body forwards and backwards while I'm moving it up and down. I think when it comes to how hard should you do it, I think 6 out of 10 on discomfort, 5, 6. It shouldn't be at 9 out of 10 because that's verging on too much bruising. And then rolling over onto the back side of that leg. Lifting that body up all the way through. Good. And they should feel a bit warmer, a bit looser, and then pop the bum down when you feel like you've done the hamstrings evenly. And you can just slide it down into those calf muscles. So I like to start it on the Achilles because the bulk of the calf is a bit tender, and then just roll through. So if you've got a sore wrist, you could just move your bum and then your bum again. Move your bum again, or you could rest on your elbows and you have to bend your knees and do it through your knee bending. It's not quite as good, but actually it's not bad. And then turn those legs out. And find the slightly outward turn toes on my calf is where my tender spot is. Okay, sit yourself up. Let's pop that roller out of the way. Just wiggle those toes. Okay. Let's come on to all fours. Let's come on to all fours. So if you've got, with your sore wrist, Sarah, maybe put your elbows, see how you go. Maybe you could use the ball, put your elbows on the ball, or a sofa or something. Okay, so start off with the hands on the floor. So I've got my body weight. If I have my body weight back, over my bum back a little bit, then there's not so much load on the hands. So loose fingers, so the rest of you should be evenly on your hands and your knees. So loose fingers, middle fingers parallel, turn the inside of those elbows forward, pull those shoulders down and back. Pull the knees apart on the mat, knees are under the hips, so you feel the glutes engaged. Tuck the tailbone down, middle of the back up to the sky, eyes come down to the knees. Really push that back up. Breathing in, breathing out. Now take the tailbone all the way up to the sky. Bring the tummy button down to the floor, spread the buttocks, eyes up to the ceiling. Lengthen that head away from the tailbone. Breathing in. On the out breath, rotate the pelvis, tailbone down, middle of the back up. Pushing up, eyes to the knees. Breathing in. On the out breath, rotate that tailbone up to the sky, tummy button down, and the eyes come up. Pulling those elbows forward, pulling those knees apart, spreading the buttocks. Coming up again, one more, rotating down, or pushing the middle of the back all the way up to the sky, inside of the elbows forward, eyes to the knees. Breathing in, and on the out breath, sinking the tummy down, bringing the tailbone up, and bringing the eyes to the sky. Come into that neutral position with the pelvis, so turn the tailbone to horizontal. Roll those shoulders back and down, lengthen the head, eyes to the mat. Gliding back into that hip. Keep that bend of that hip. And come back up. Now let's move the feet apart. So you haven't got your feet crossed and you haven't got them touching, so they're in line with the knees. Pull those elbows out and forward and glide back and feel the difference in that hip. So it's what we were talking about earlier, where the bone goes into the hip, getting that rotation smooth and through. Coming back up onto your hands. Turn that inside of those elbows forward, pull the shoulders back and down, neutral spine, gliding back. Spread your buttocks. Spread your buttocks. Take your hands off the floor in this position and put them around behind you. Bring them back onto the floor and slide yourself forwards again, and then put your hands onto the floor. Glide yourself backwards. As soon as you can, take the weight of the hands off the floor, coming back onto those towards the heels, neutral spine, and then push yourself forward with the bum, hands come on the floor. So we get those glutes to work. Sandra's chest down more. So you're in neutral spine, glide backwards, pull the knees apart on the mat, take the hands off the floor, take the weight of the body on the bum. In neutral, Sandra, chest down, tummy down, head, back of the head up, lengthen your body. Good, come back forward, put your fingers on the floor. That's better, and then come into neutral. Good, holding yourself here. Take that, keeping those fingers inside of elbows forwards. We're going to glide that right leg backwards. Glide that right leg back, keeping this neutral spine. Bring that right knee to the elbow. Glide that right leg back. Bring that back in. So we're working on neutral spine and hip flexion. Take that leg backwards, bring that leg back in. Rest it on the floor. Left leg, take that left leg back. Bring that leg back in. So this is down, building up to down dog. Take that left leg out. Bring that left leg in. So we've got the hip really working. Take that left leg out. Bring that left leg in. Rest it on the floor. So turn your toes over. We're going to come up into down dog, and we're not going to stay there for too long. Okay, and then we'll do a bit of a flow. So pull those elbows out forwards, turn the shoulders back and down. Turning the toes over, breathing in on the out breath. Knees off the floor, bum into the air. So soft knees, pushing the armpits down towards the toes, tummy button towards the thighs. Loosen that head and neck, pushing through off those hands. Push that right knee back. Push that left knee back. Push that right knee back. Push that left knee back. Push both knees back. Push that tummy button down towards the thighs. Walk your hands backwards towards your feet. Soft fingers on the floor. Standing on both feet. The middle of my feet is a centimetre apart. The heels are about 2 or 3 centimetres apart. Soft knees. Put my hands above my knees. Lift my body up into that neutral spine. So now I'm moving, instead of moving my legs in towards my elbows as I was on all fours, I'm lifting my upper body up in neutral. Round myself down again. Roll yourself up one vertebra at a time, all the way up to standing. Take those hands all the way wide up above your head, palms together. Push those fingers up into the sky. Take your eyes up to follow. Stretch the front of your body, breathing in. On the out breath, hands out wide, chin into the chest, rolling all the way down to the floor. Rolling all the way down, hands just hanging. Let the eyes look through the knees. Pop the hands on the top of the thighs, lift the body up into that tabletop. Extend, extend, roll down. Put the hands on the floor, slide them forwards into the plank. Slide them forwards into the plank. Lengthen the head away from the heels. Clench the bum. Pull those shoulders back and down, elbows forward. Drop the knees to the ground. Lower your body to the ground. Lower your body to the ground, turn the toes over. Put those hands next to the fingers next to the ears. We do the partial cobra to start with. Breathing in on the out breath. Stretching the front of the body. So I've clenched my bum, lengthened my legs. Push my breastbone forward towards my fingers. And lower back down to the ground. Breathing in on the out breath. Same again. Clench the bum, lengthen the legs, draw in the core, lift the tummy off the floor. Push the breastbone forward. Lifting the front of that body up, eyes coming to horizontal. Breathing in, clenching my bum, so I'm resting on my pubic bone. Knees and feet can be soft on the ground. Mine are just off the floor, so just kicking those feet up and down. See them soft. Sandra, you'd be better if you faced the other way on the mat. You wouldn't have to turn your head so much. And then lower down. Bring those hands next to your ribs. Breathing in. On the out breath, lifting up onto the pubic bone. Roll the shoulders down and back, lengthen the legs, drawing the core, push up off those arms, clench the bum, push that breastbone forward. And then lowering back down to the ground. Bring those hands a bit further back. Lengthen the legs, roll the shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Breathing in on the out breath, push up onto the knees. Push up onto the knees, breastbone forward, tighten the thighs and lift those knees up off the floor. Push the breastbone forward, draw in the core. Drop the knees to the ground, turn over the toes, bum into the air, into child pose. Into child pose. So bring those feet so they're a centimetre apart, soften the knees, let the tummy button to the thighs, armpits towards those toes. Push that right knee back. Push that left knee back. Push both knees back. Take that right leg straight up into the air. Bend the knee, lift the knee up, drop the foot and open that hip. Open that hip, now swing that foot through, in between your hands. So we're in a lunge. So take the hands can come off the floor. You can just be light on your wrist. So my hands are off the floor, I'm resting. My body or my tummy is resting on my thigh. Lengthen that leg behind, so I'm stretching. The stretch is in that hip flexor. So give your hand a rest. Drop that back knee to the floor, and then come up on your knee and your foot. Right foot's on the outside, right side of the mat. Left knee is on the left side of the mat. Feel the stretch in this groin area. Sink that groin to the floor. Remember, breastbone, tummy button, crutch are all in a line vertically, not compressing my lower back. Visualize yourself pulling that back knee forward so you tense the front of this leg. Breathing in on the out breath, left arm up into the air, release that tension. Stretch the groin further to the floor. I'm leaning over to the right, pushing my left arm up high. Feel the stretch down that left hand side. Breathing in and breathing out. Bring that arm back down. Put one hand either side of the front leg. Glide that body backwards. Keep that toe pointed. Push that knee down to the floor. Again, soft on my hands. Pushing that knee down towards the floor. Walk the hands to the left. Swing the bum right. Feel the stretch in the front and the inside of those legs. And then walk the hands all the way over the other side. And feel the stretch down the outside of that leg. Come back to the centre. Put the hands either side of your leg. Now flex that foot. So the bum glides back a little bit. Keep the leg straight. Point that toe. Body glides forwards a bit. Flex that foot. If you want to hold your toes with your hand, you can pull them up a little bit and then increase the intensity. Glide forward. Put the sole of that foot on the floor. Wiggle that toe so it's between those hands. Lunge forwards over this front leg. Take the weight of the body on the thigh here. So we're doing it slightly differently. A little less pressure on the hands. Turn the back leg over. So I'm on my feet. Hands are soft on the floor. So my hands are off the ground. Yep. And then I'm going to step forward. Both feet next to each other at the front of the mat. Hang myself down. Knees are soft. Push those knees backwards. Pop the hands above the knees. Come up into that tabletop. So I want you to lengthen. If you need to bend the knees a bit, you can, but the tummy button wants to be pushing down towards the floor or towards the top of my thighs, and my tailbone is lifting up. Now let's come up straight like this. So I'm going to clench my bum, push my bum forward and bring my head and shoulders backwards. So it's a bum exercise, not a lower back. Bring those arms out wide, touch them together above your head, reaching up high, take your eyes up, so look at your fingers, stretch the front of your body, take your hands behind you slightly, and then bring your chin into your chest, arms come down and roll down. One vertebra at a time, all the way down to the floor. All the way down, soft knees, let that head hang. Push that right knee back. Push that left knee back. Push both knees back. Soften the knees. Step that right foot backwards, resting on my thigh of my left leg. Resting on the thigh of the left leg. Keeping that right knee straight so that I'm getting a stretch in the groin here. Pushing that right knee away. Dropping that right knee to the floor, turn the toe over. And we're going to glide backwards and do this straight leg on the left leg. So we glide it backwards, let the toe go forward slightly. Check your alignment, middle toe, middle ankle, shin, knee into the hip. Walk the hands around to the right hand side. Slide the bum to the left. Feel the stretch a bit on that inner thigh. Feel it through that lower back. Walk those hands across the leg now. And to the outside of this leg. And feel the stretch down the outside of that leg. And come back to the front. Point the toe. Flex that foot. Point that toe. Flex that foot, take hold of it. I don't really need to pull my toes up any higher. There is enough intensity for me, but you could pull the toes up harder. Point the toe. Glide yourself forwards over this leg. Stretch that groin. Stretch that groin and then lift your body up so you're coming onto your knee and your foot. So my left foot's on the left side of the mat, right foot's wider, so I've got a stable base. Tuck the bottom under you, draw in that core so you're straight up the front. Feel the stretch in the front of this hip flexor, roll those shoulders back and down, and imagine you're pulling this back leg forward. So I'm tensing the front of this leg. Lengthen the head to the ceiling, breathing in, on the out breath, right arm up in the air, and then release that tension, pushing forwards into the hip, reaching that right arm up high, taking it over my head, towards the left-hand side, feeling a stretch through my body, breathing in, and breathing out. Breathing in, and breathing out. Bring that arm back down. Put your hands on the floor either side of your front foot. Turn the back toe over, lift the back knee up, resting on this thigh. So my body's on the thigh, hands can be free on the floor. Just going to wiggle that foot back in a bit and we're going to step backwards into down dog. So I'm going to push my bum up in the air, bring that foot through, feet are a centimetre apart, soft knees. I'm holding onto the mat a bit because I'm slipping on it. Soften my knees, armpit down to the floor, tummy to the thighs, push that right knee down, push that left knee back, push that right heel down and knee back, left heel down, knee back. Both heels down, tummy button to the thighs, really stretching and lengthening the body. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Slide yourself back forwards into that press up position. Lengthen the head from the heels. Roll those shoulders back and down, turn the inside of the elbows forward, drop the knees to the floor, lower yourself all the way back down. Okay, bend those elbows, point those toes, clench the bum, and push into the pubic bone, into the ground, tighten the thighs so my knees and feet are off the ground. Roll the shoulders up to the ears, up to the sky, pull them down, and drive the chest forward, lifting the front of the body up onto that bottom rib. Eyes come to horizontal, opening that chest, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Breathing in, breathing out and lower. Breathe in at the bottom. Breathe out and push up. Breathe in at the top. Breathe out and lower. Breathe in at the bottom. Breathe out and push up. Clench the bum, push the toes away from your knees and feet are off the floor. Resting on the pubic bone and the bottom ribs, pushing that chest forward and then lowering down to the ground. Slide your hands back level with your waist. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Clench the bum, lengthen the legs. Breathing in, breathe out, push up onto your pubic bone. So just come up halfway, tense the tummy, draw in the core, lengthen the legs, clench the bum and lower, keeping those shoulders back and down. Don't let them hunch up. Breathing in. On the out breath, roll the shoulders back and down, draw in the core, clench the bum, lengthen those legs, tighten the thighs, push off the hands, coming onto the pubic bone, shoulder blades back, push up, yeah, lovely, and then lower. Good, breathing in at the bottom, this time we'll come onto our knees, breathing out, push off the hands, lengthen the body, clench the bum, tighten the thighs, draw in the core, open that chest, lock those elbows or straighten those elbows, tighten the thighs, knees off the floor, and back into child pose. Back into child pose. Bum in the air, all the way back. All the way back, push those hands forward, stretch that lower back. Walk the hands to the left-hand side of the mat. Push the bum to the right. And then walk the hands to the right-hand side of the mat. So when I do child pose, I have my knees apart. Partly because I have sore knees, so I can't sit totally on my heels. Bring your hands back to the middle. But partly because we bend that lower part of the back. I want the lower part of my back straight, and then I'm pushing my hands forward. And then I create an even curve in my spine. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay, come up onto all fours. Walk those knees forward and we're going to sit on the mat. We're going to grab the roller again and put it long ways down the mat. So put it the length of the mat and you're going to sit on the end of it. Sit on the end of it. So feet are hip distance apart, knees are hip distance apart. So I'm resting my tailbone on the end of it. It's not going to tip because I'm not too far forward. And then just pop your fingers on the floor and you're going to lay down slowly on that roller. Good. Lie yourself back. Get yourself comfortable so your fingertips, elbows are resting on the floor. Fingertips are touching the ground either side. Feel those shoulder blades, roll those shoulders back and down. Feel the shoulder blades engaging with the edge of the roller. Feel the top ribs down. The back of your head is even. Top ribs, middle ribs, bottom ribs. Flatten your back into the roller, so lift your tailbone up. Now round your tailbone down to the floor and let your lower back arch. Now turn the tailbone up and flatten that lower back. Now round that pelvis down, tailbone goes down and the back arches. Slide your fingertips onto the outside edges of your pelvis and feel your pubic bone and lower your back down or tilt the pelvis until that line between the pubic bone and these bony prominences on the front of your pelvis are horizontal to the floor. Then rest your hands back on the ground Draw in the core, so we're not going to move the shape of the back on the roller. It's very obvious on the roller, any movement. Right, lift those toes up, heels are on the floor. Point those toes down, heels off the floor. Lift those toes up, heel in the floor. Now push the heels in and feel your glutes engage. Try not to push into your head. Tip those toes up and feel how your glutes stop engaging. Hard to keep your glutes engaged when the front of your toes are pushing down. Now push your heels in the floor and feel your glutes can engage. You can clench your bum. Glide over so the weight's on the left foot. Lift that right foot up off the ground so the knee comes above the pelvis. Keeping that neutral spine. Take that leg out straight. Bring that leg back in. Remember, toes to the sky, knees to the sky. Squeeze with that bum, putting that knee out sideways, lengthen that leg. So click hip clicking, Sarah. Bring the knee back in, holding the knee above the hip. Pull the knee sideways without actually moving it. Engage the glutes, drive that heel away from you, squeezing with the glutes and keeping the core strong. Keep the leg straight, touch the heel on the floor. Lift the leg up a bit. Touch the heel down. Lift the leg up. So we're extending the hip, don't let that back arch. Lifting up. Touching down. Lifting up, hold it there. Bend it and bring it back in. Put it on the floor next to the other foot. So your other foot should still have the toes off the ground. Right foot, push the right heel into the floor, glide the body weight onto that foot. Lift that left leg up off the ground. Left leg up. Clench with the bum, extend that left leg straight. Bend that left leg in. Pulling the knee out sideways, drive that heel away from you. Bring that knee back in. Drive that heel away. Bring that knee back in. Drive that heel away, holding it there. Lower the leg to the floor. Is your back the same? Lift that leg up. Toes of the right foot are off the ground. Push that left heel to the floor. Feel those shoulder blades on the roller. Lift that leg back up. Take that heel to the floor. Lift that leg back up. Bend it back in and rest it on the ground. So even yourself up if you feel that you're not quite symmetrical. Push those heels into the floor, lift the toes up, roll the shoulders up to the ears into the floor, slide them down. Re-engage your ribs, flatten your lower back, arch your lower back. You can do a big movement if you want to loosen that spine up. Okay, get into neutral. Now we're going to lift the elbows off the floor. We've just got the fingers lightly touching on the ground. So we've got less stability from the arms because we've lengthened the lever a bit. Lift that right leg up off the ground. Lift that left leg up off the ground. Keep those shoulders down and back. Keep that neutral spine. Get comfortable with the balance. Lengthen your head from your tailbone. Okay, drawing in the core. Take that right leg out straight. Feel how much more load there is. Bring that right leg in. Draw in the core. Clench the bum on the left leg. Take that leg out straight. Bring that leg back in. You have to work harder on the tummy as you extend. Draw in the core. Take that right leg out straight. Bring that right leg back in. Make sure the toes are pointing to the ceiling and the knee. Take that left leg out straight. Bring that left leg back in. Taking the right leg out, so clenching the bum, knee goes out to the side, hold it here. Lower that right heel to the floor. Lift that right heel up. Lower it down, extending that hip. Lifting it up. Lowering it down. Lifting it up and bring it back in. So we're extending the hip. I don't mind if you rest it on the floor if you need to. The exercise is extending the hip and not moving the back. The tummy muscles will get stronger. So draw in the core. Pulling the waistband away from your flesh, sorry, pulling your tummy muscles and your back muscles away from your flesh, away from your waistband. Clenching the bum, Taking that knee, control of that left knee, push that leg out straight, toes and knee pointing to the sky. Bring that left leg back in. Take that left leg out straight. Lower it to the floor. Lift it up. Lower it to the ground, keeping in neutral. Clenching the bum, lifting it up. Lowering it down. Lifting it up and bringing it back in. Pop the left foot down, pop the right foot down. Flatten the back on the roller. Arch the back up so you can stretch that lower back. Come into neutral again. Heels are on the floor, toes are off the floor. Lift those hands up off the ground. Lift those hands up. Take those hands straight up above your face. Keep the roller keeping still through using your heels and your glutes. Take those arms out wide. Bring those arms up together. Take those arms over your head, keeping the fingertips touching each other. All the way, push those fingers away. Bring those hands up. Bring those arms up, down by the side. Take them in angel wings, all the way around to touch the fingers above your head. And then bring them all the way back, pointing them to your feet, keeping them horizontal off the ground. Resting over onto that right foot, lift that left leg up. Fingers are off the floor. Roll those shoulders down and back, draw in that core. Extend that left leg out straight. Bend that left leg in. Extend that left leg out straight, hold it there. Take that right arm over your head, push it away from you, keeping the core, keeping the neutral spine. The spine imprint stays the same on the roller. Bring the hand back and the knee back in at the same time. Extend that leg out, take the arm over the head, keep the left shoulder down and back. Bring that arm back. If you need to put the left hand on the floor, you can. So right hand's going overhead, left leg is going out straight. Weights on the left, the right heel, right toes are soft on the ground. Bring that knee and hand back together. Pop that left foot back on the ground. Even yourself up, feel stable. Push the weight through this left leg. Lift that right foot off the floor. Keeping these hands up. Extend that right leg out straight. Bring that right leg in. Extend that right leg out straight. Take the left arm over the head. Bring the left arm in and the right leg in. Take the leg away. Oh, I'm finding this side a lot harder. Take it away and bring it back in. Hands comes over, knee comes in. Right leg extends, left arm goes over. Clench from the bum on the left side. Bring the hand and knee back in. And pop that right foot on the floor. Put the right foot on the floor. Take the arms all the way over the head. Reaching those fingers away from the toes. Bring those arms back. Take the hands out like a scarecrow. Rest the fingertips on the floor. Bring the right foot off the ground. Bring the left foot off the ground. Take that right leg out straight. Touch the heel to the floor. Lift it up. Bring it back. Take that left leg out straight. Touch the floor. Lift it up. Bring it back. Lift the right hand off the floor. Touch it down. Lift the left hand off the floor. Touch it down. Try and lift both hands off the floor. Lengthen the body. It's quite hard to do. Hands back on the ground, feet back on the ground. Chin into the chest. Roll yourself up. Sitting on the roller. Move the roller out of the way and lengthen your body. Sitting yourself up nice and tall, roll those shoulders back. Slide those fingers down towards your legs, stretching that upper back out, middle back, lower back. Breathing in, sitting up tall. Lie yourself down to the floor, one vertebra at a time. Arms over your head, push your fingers away from your toes. Bring your right knee in towards your body. Pull that knee in. Take hold of that knee and pull it over. Just give ourselves one rotation. Pushing over, pushing that right hand away, pulling that right knee to the floor, breathing in. Breathing out, push, lengthen. Rolling back onto your back. Keep hold of the right knee, bring the left knee in. Lift the tailbone off the ground. Drop the knees apart. Feel the inner thigh stretch. Rocking that body, shoulders back and down. Breathing in, breathing out. Lengthen that right leg away. Pull the left knee in. Pull that left knee over your body. Push that left hand away. Turn the eyes towards it. Breathing in, breathing out. Push, lengthen. Breathing in, breathing out. Rolling back onto the floor, pull that left knee in. Take that left leg away, take the arms over the head. Push your fingers away from your toes, lengthen the front of your body. Breathing in. On the out breath, hands down by your side. Fingers slide under your bum. One quick fish, push off those elbows. Lift up onto the top of your head. Really open your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Breathing in, breathing out, pushing that breastbone high. Lower down to the floor. Arms up to the sky, over your head. Pushing the fingers from the toes. Bring those arms back all the way up to the sky. Point to your toes, chin into your chest. Roll yourself all the way up. Reach to those feet. Soften the knees, pull yourself forwards. Sitting yourself up nice and tall. Put your left hand on your right knee, right behind, and turn yourself, pushing off that back hand. And then turn into the front, turning the other way. Right hand on the left knee, left hand behind, and turn the other way. Big breath in and out. Facing the front. Put your hands either side of your bottom, lift up and rest down on that middle bum. Rolling those shoulders. Big rolls with those arms. All the way up to the sky, round and down. This time leave them up in the sky, palms together. Bring your hands down so your thumbs touch your forehead. Push those arms up into the sky, looking up after them. Push the heels away from you, knees down. Pull forward onto your middle bottom. Drawing the core, chest up, breathing in. Fill those lungs up with clean, fresh air. Breathing out, bring those arms all the way wide onto your legs and roll your shoulders. Happy Saturday. I forgot pigeon.